All right, we're getting there. What's up, everyone? Jeff Lerner here, going live. I haven't been live in a long time, and I'm excited to be going live. I've been a little out of practice. What's up on Instagram? If you're just tuning in, getting ready to go live here, haven't been going live much in a while. It's probably been a couple months since I've been like regularly doing lives, and I'm a little out of practice, which means it's time to get back into practice. It's like my daughter with her splits. She just joined. What's up, Jada? So my daughter was showing me this morning how she's lost a little bit on her splits. She used to be able to totally do the splits. Now she's a little off on her splits. Like she's like this far from touching the ground. And I'm like, you gotta go back. You gotta get back into doing your splits, because the longer you wait, the further away from it you're going to get, and the harder it's going to be to get back. So get back on your splits. Yo, what's up, Jeff? What's up, Alyssa? What's up, Brad? What's up, Nav? Hey, the love is mutual, my friend. What's up, Ashley? What's up, TG? So I see just kindness and gratitude that I'm mutually grateful for. I see it coming in, and I'm so appreciative already. But yeah, so that's the thing. Like going live is like a muscle. Extemporaneous speaking is like a muscle, and when it starts to get a little out of shape, you got to get back on it. So let me tell you what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how, regardless of where you're starting from, regardless of if you're the little guy, which I think most of us feel like the little guy in a lot of ways, especially the bigger the vision we come up with for our life, the bigger the gap between where we are and where we want to get to. And we end up feeling like the little guy. So I want to talk about how the little guy can do whatever he wants to pull off in this world. I'm going to give you the formula to never again feel like, well, I don't have enough money. I don't have a big enough network. I don't have enough credibility. I don't have enough authority. I don't have a big enough audience. So I'm just the little guy, and there's no way I'm going to be able to do it. I also have to disclaim two things before I get started. One is my beautiful 4-year-old daughter is right there. I can literally reach out and touch her. She's about 5 feet away from me, but she knows that she can't come this way and get on camera. You know that, right, Stelly? Because she doesn't have a shirt on, and we don't need to be showing her, topless at 4 years old on the internet. So that's the first thing. The other thing is, speaking of reflexing a muscle that's gotten out of shape, I'm back on fasting today. I haven't had a bite of food. It's 2:00 where I am. I've been off my nutrition game for, the mirror. Crap. Thank you, guys. Oh, yeah. I'm moving the mirror so that they can't see you in the mirror, Stell. Somebody was very kind and pointed that out. Thank you. So yeah, I have been eating, I would say, less than optimally for the last couple months, and it's time to get back on it. So today I'm kicking that back in with a fast, which means I feel a little bit foggy in the brain. So we'll see how this goes. All that to say, how can you be, as I said it, the little engine? Thanks, Young Simpin. I appreciate that. I'm guessing that's not your real name, but I appreciate the call on the mirror. How can the little guy do big things? And by the way, it's not easy. It's very simple. What I'm going to share with you is extremely simple. So far from easy. Trust me, I've been doing it the last few years. It's really, really, really flipping hard. And again, not to keep cliffhanging you here, but there's one other thing I want to say. I put out a message the other day about live events and how I wanted to do more live events. And there's people, some people don't seem to want to include me in their live events. And I got a lot of really, really positive feedback from that. And I just want to say how much I appreciated it. It was not a whiny post. Like, it doesn't affect my life one way or another. If I speak on other people's stages, I got a big enough audience of my own that I'm building in a booming business, and I'm good. But the reality is I want to reach more people. And there's other people that I feel like are being underserved, and I would like to get to them. And I'm trying to get some understanding on how to get to them better. And I got a lot of great information. a great feedback on that. But one of the things that somebody came back to me is, there were two comments that I think in particular I want to address. One suggested that the way that I communicate sometimes, and by the way, this was from a fan. She said, "What's up, Elijah, my man?" She said, this one person, she said, "Look, I'm a fan, Jeff, but the reality is you got kind of two problems that are really two parts of the same problem, which is how you communicate. One is you're way too honest about how much hard work it takes to be really, really successful, and people don't want to hear that." She said the other part is when you talk, you kind of come off a little bit, and her term was holier than thou. You sound a little bit holier than thou when you speak. And there was another comment that I think sort of helped explain what I think she might have been referring to, because there was another comment that said, "Jeff, you got to realize that everybody's version of an awesome life is not the same as yours." And so I'm kind of reading between the lines here to go, okay, maybe the market feels a little bit like too challenged or off put by this vision that I have to say, look, you got to go all in. You got to be a maniac. You got to work like there's no tomorrow. Like in your entire life is going to be judged on what you did today or in the next hour or in the next 5 minutes. There's no excuse for a lack of intensity. And an awesome life, I define it. I have hijacked the term awesome. I accept no other definition of the word. I define it as a commitment to excellence. And I even define excellence my own way. I've hijacked that word too and says excellence is about being better every single day than you've ever been before in your life. Every single day showing up as the best version of yourself that's ever existed. And if you commit to that, you'll have an awesome life. And people are saying, "Oh, Jeff, that's kind of pushy. You're taking words from the English language and trying to tell people what they mean and da-da-da." So let me clarify something. When I talk about the word awesome, I don't think I've hijacked it as much as people suggest. The word awesome means it's got some awe, some awe. Now, here's the thing about awesome. Happiness, contrast it with happiness. Happiness, totally in the eye of the experiencer, right? For me, I get to define what my happy life is. Jeff Lerner doesn't get to tell me what my happy life is. Anybody can say, "But I'm happy, bro. I'm happy, bro." No, I cannot speak a little bit slower. If you need to go back and watch this again, slow it down, figure out how to do that. I got to get this out. So I can't tell somebody, no, you're not happy. Hold on, I'm going to stop my vlog camera because the battery's about to die. Peace, that's how we do it. So I can't tell somebody whether they're happy or not, but I can absolutely tell somebody whether they're awesome or not. Because the word awesome doesn't mean how you feel about it or how you experience it. It means how other people experience it. The word awesome means productive of awe, producing awe in others. So you can say, "Look, Jeff, don't tell me that my life's not awesome because I have my little world that I've created, and I like to knit blankets, and I like to, drive my 15-year-old beater car, and that breaks down every now and then. It's a pain, but I don't want to strive for more. And I like to, see my little circle, and I have my bridge club and whatever." That's fine. You could be happy as a pig in shit, but I'm not going to agree with you that it's awesome. Because I don't hear, at least in the way I'm describing that, anything that other people are watching and going, "Oh my word, do you see what they're doing? I am awestruck by what they're doing. I am inspired by what they're doing. I am challenged to go do more and be more myself." That's a very specific life that I think we all agree on when we see it. Now, look, happy life, joyful life, fulfilling life, whatever, you make it, you create it, you define it. But an awesome life, look, the pyramids are awesome. The Great Wall of China is awesome. Genghis Khan, who, by the way, in modern terms would be like the world's, I think his net worth in modern terms would be like $40 trillion or something, because he had all the resources of like half the Asian continent. Awesome. we look at these guys and we go, awesome. And everybody agrees for the most part. I mean, there's some nihilist out there that doesn't like anything that's ever been built or created. But like generally, we know awesome when we see it. Happy, joyous, fulfilling, all that stuff, whatever, you can have it. But I'm talking about an awesome life. And the only chance we have to create an awesome life, a life that makes other people go, whoa, whoa, I am awestruck by that life. And I am inspired to challenge myself to do more. Because there's an energy there, there's a gravity there that's stronger than my gravity, and I am pulled in the direction of that, not the other way around. That's something that we can universally agree on, and I believe the only way you get there is through a commitment to excellence. So I'm taking back control of that term because I get to choose what it means in this case. So I just wanted to be clear on that. So how do you do it, man? Then how does the little guy who doesn't feel like he or she has a shot, he's like, how the hell am I supposed to be awesome? How the hell am I supposed to inspire anyone and go so big that I can actually impact people? I can create a visceral resonance in other people that changes the way that they live, that they can never be the same after they were introduced to me. How do I create that when I'm the little guy and I hardly have, 2 nickels to rub together, or, I'm trying to push in all the nails with my thumbs. I can't even afford a hammer, right? How do you do it? I'm going to tell you how you do it. And by the way, sorry, I'm bringing together all this stuff here. The other thing I want to say is somebody messaged me the other day in that thread. Actually, you can see it on Instagram. They said, yeah, but doesn't what you're doing go against that? Doesn't that go against the idea of just niching down and finding your tribe and being very specialized and specific? You're trying to go big. You're trying to change the world. I just want to make my little niche of, and this isn't what they said, but like the thinking goes, right? You get rich in the niche. I just want to make my little niche of like people committed to the art of strumming banjos with rubber bands and playing them with their teeth. And I'm just going to try to dominate that niche only, right? Yeah, I get it. There's a marketing science to it. If your goal is to pay your bills, if your goal is to create a life that serves you and gives you the essentials and meets your basic needs, party on, man. Do it. Get rich in the niche. But if you're trying to like mega change the world, like colonize Mars, like Elon Musk type change the world, you can. But here's how you do it. You have to start with the end in mind. And you have to realize that at some point, for you to take your message to the masses, you're going to reach a plane that goes way beyond niche economics. In niche economics, the more focused and specialized you are, the more efficiently you can reach your target, and the more profitably you can build a business that gets your message out to the world, right? That's cool. But when you are already thinking, how am I going to reach hundreds of millions or billions of people? Niche economics goes out the window, and you have to begin with the end in mind to say, at some point, I'm going to be competing for mass attention. I'm going to be competing for hundreds of millions of eyeballs and brain stems, right? Which means niche models, niche practices, niche economics won't work anymore. So how the hell is a little guy like me supposed to ever contend in that world? Hold on, I got some notes over here I made before, and I just want to look at this. So here's what you got to realize. When you get into trying to tap into mainstream consciousness, I'm talking Gandhi, I'm talking Martin Luther King Jr., I'm talking Steve Jobs, I'm talking Mother Teresa, I'm talking world changers and movement makers. When you're trying to tap into that level in the world, you've got to realize how competitive it is. How competitive it is. This is very easy to speak to someone who already agrees with you and who's already into the same stuff that you're into. That's niche marketing. That's niche economics. But to speak to somebody that's not already in your world, you got so much more noise to cut through to reach that person. How are you supposed to do it? What you have to do is you have to begin by saying, I'm going to build the war chest, meaning the base of capital that it will inevitably take to power through and get everybody's attention. Because make no mistake, you can get everybody's attention if you have enough money, right? That's how billionaires who've got no political experience can just decide, you know what, I'm going to run for president, because you can pay for everybody's attention, right? Now, obviously, there's more to it. You gotta win them over once you get their attention, and some people are better at that than others. But you can get a lot of attention if you have money. So you have to begin with the end in mind and say, I'm going to construct my business right now while it's small and niche focused to have big enough margins to not just pay my bills, not just get a new car, not just cover my expenses, but I'm going to be building the war chest that's going to allow me to go out into the world and do massive, disruptive, exciting things. And if you don't start right now, day one, with the end in mind to say, I've got to be accumulating not just enough profit to where people are like, oh, he's got a profitable business, good for him, but I'm accumulating enough profit that I'm getting loaded with dry gunpowder. Like they say, dry powder, potential energy, potential to go explode, right? You've got to be loading yourself up, filling your stockades with dry powder now. In other words, use the time when you're in the small niche and competition is less and attention is less expensive to create products that have so much value that you can charge premium prices so that you can build your war chest for the inevitable increase in the cost of customer acquisition and the inevitable increase in competition. And I don't mean competition that you're going to have more competitors. I mean competition that you're going to have more better funded competitors. So I'm going to use myself as an example. I decide that based on where we're at in this effed up world, entrepreneurialism is the cure for what ails us. That becoming entrepreneurs and teaching not just the tactics, but the psychology of becoming an entrepreneur would create empowerment, would create personal responsibility, would decrease victimization and the psychology of victimization, that it would literally change our world. I decide this. And I go, yeah, but how the hell am I going to get that message out to people that don't already agree with me? Yeah, it's easy to get that message out to people that are already on the internet learning about digital marketing. But how am I going to get that message out to people that haven't even thought about becoming an entrepreneur? People that are working in maybe lower wage jobs and they just are trying to keep up, make ends meet, or people that have high income jobs and go, I don't need entrepreneurship. I'm already making 250 grand a year, like some doctor somewhere. I'm going to go grab that person and say, yeah, but you're still part of a broken system, and all the security you think you have because of all the prestige and all the reverence that you are surrounded by because you're a doctor, you don't actually have, because if you do the math, you know, with inflation and economics and all this stuff, you're not even going to be able to retire comfortably in 40 years. Certainly not at the standard, or 30 years or 20 years, whatever. Certainly not at the standard of living that you're used to, right? So I'm having to shake up a delusion. I'm having to break the matrix. How the hell am I supposed to do that? Look, if I just wanted to sell some courses, I could go into groups where people are already buying courses on digital marketing, and I could sell digital courses. That would be great. And by the way, I could have done it a long time ago. Enough to pay my bills, have a great life, go on vacations, be a successful bro marketer who can afford a sports car and flex a little and impress people. Great, right? That's niche thinking. I'm talking about world-changing thinking. I'm talking about revolutionary thinking. For me, the little guy, 3 years ago, I was just a dad in St. George, Utah, right? Just some dude driving around making videos into his phone. How am I supposed to get that big? Like I said, you have to, while you're small, while you're niche, while the competition is reasonably amateurish, you have to start delivering so much value that you can be the top of your market and you can build that war chest. I would estimate let's get down to brass tacks. For me to take my message where I need it to go, I got a book coming out next year called Millionaire Secrets, the Underground Playbook for Getting Rich in the New Economy. That's going to be probably step one. That and my podcast are only step one of the master plan. Entre, great, amazing business. We're already doing incredible things. I'm doing a great job of attracting people of a like mind. But I'm talking about how to break into the world of people that are not of a like mind. And the game, we're barely just getting warmed up, right? I got the podcast. I got the book coming out next year. But realistically, to penetrate the public consciousness at that level, just the publicist after the book comes out, who's going to start putting me on shows like Good Morning America and the Today Show. You know, that publicist is probably going to be $100,000 investment for, you know, I don't know, 3 to 6 months worth of work. Like, this stuff costs money. So it's probably going to be let's say a $10 to $20 million effort. How the hell am I supposed to pull that off? I already explained it. You start small, you start niche, you give premium value, you generate premium pricing, and you build your war chest, and you give it long enough to work. Now, that all sounds simple, like I said, but it is not easy. It is brutally hard. Why? Because first of all, this is a long-term play. You got to have a 5 or 10-year vision to pull this off. But anybody can do this if you have the fortitude and the mental stamina to hold a vision that nobody else sees and that a lot of people will try to poke holes in and tell you you're nuts. If you can hold that for 5 or 10 years, you can change the world. Anybody can change the world. Anybody can change the world if you can hold that vision for 5 to 10 years. But it's not a 5 to 10 months. It's not a 5 to 10 days. And a lot of people just don't have that stamina. Then the other thing you have to do is, while you're niche, while you're small, while the competition is low, while the game is relatively easy to dominate compared to the game that you're going to try to dominate, you know, down the road, you have to go bananas. You have to give next level value. You have to give value nobody's ever seen before. Why? Because then you can charge the prices you need to charge to generate the war chest to actually have a shot to go fight the bigger battle. You can't do it without resources, right? So how are you supposed to generate a lot of resources when you're smaller, when you're the little guy in a littler niche with relatively, I wouldn't say less competition. In some ways, there's more competition, but they're more amateurish and they have less capital. So I think of it as less. How are you supposed to do it? You got to go bananas with your value. And then you can charge the prices that you need to build the profit, to build the base of capital to go out and play the bigger game. So that's why for the last 3 years, I've been fucking insane. I've been off my rocker with value and work effort and hustle and grind. And I don't even need the money. People are like, Jeff, what are you doing, man? Why are you working so hard? Because I'm not just right now competing with the little world of digital course creators. That's not a hard game to win. I'm already fighting with Donald Trump. I'm already fighting with Tony Robbins. I'm already fighting with the freaking United Nations. I'm already fighting with Fox News. I'm already fighting with CNN. But as the little guy, the only way I can fight that fight is I have to get my funding. The only way I can get my funding is I have to win so big in the little game that I can actually come out the other side and fight the big game. You see that? Like, Entra, I haven't been comparing myself to other digital course creators. These games are so easy to win because other people just they won't do what it takes. They won't do what it takes. Now, why they won't do what it takes? Because of the mental stamina, the vision, the ability. It's not because they're tired. It's not because they're old. Look, I'm in my 40s, man. I got my joints hurt, my hips, my shoulders. I probably need shoulder surgery. I just keep putting it off because I don't want to not be able to use my computer for more than 2 hours. You can do it if you can hold the vision. If you can form a picture in your mind to say, I'm going to go change the world by doing X, alternative health, alternative medicine, alternative education, alternative energy, alternative technology, alternative science, alternative thought, alternative philosophy. I don't care what the alternative is, but you come up with it. You hold the vision of how it can change the world, and you start playing the game now, not just to win. This is my problem. People say, I'm playing the game to win. You got to be Wilt Chamberlain. You ever seen the old videos, excuse me, of Wilt Chamberlain back in like the 60s playing basketball? No, I'm not going to play the guitar in the back. I'm not here for your entertainment. Go away. I got something to say. You ever seen videos of Wilt Chamberlain back in the 60s? He's like 7'2". He's got like a 48-inch vertical. He's blocking shots. He like comes out of nowhere, blocking shot. He doesn't even block the shot. He just goes up and grabs the ball with one hand, brings it down, like fast breaks down the court in like 4 steps because his legs are so damn long. and then smashes it, he's a man among boys. That's how you got to be. It's not enough to play to win. You got to play to where it's such an embarrassingly lopsided contest that people go, he didn't just win. He redefined the game. He was a man among boys, or a woman among girls. I'm not being, sexist here. And you can do that if you just hold the vision, because nobody in this fucking world holds visions. It makes me crazy. They don't hold visions. A few people do, and they literally write history books about those people. But why? What's the difference? I think probably some of it comes down to they've suffered enough. They've suffered enough. When you have suffered enough and you have come out the other side, you realize that because you were in a time in your life when just the vision of survival seemed so far from your present reality, and yet you survived, you come out the other side with the knowing that I can hold a vision that is so far from my present reality, that even when my present reality survival isn't threatened, I can still go that far. I don't know another way to think of it. Why are there some people who can hold these visions and do these ridiculously large things? And then you have the vast majority of people, like the ridiculous majority of people, like the 99.999% of people in the world who won't hold on to a vision long enough. They'll hold it for a day. They'll get fired up for a month. But I'm talking years that it takes. I'm not out here on the internet trying to make it sound faster or easier than it is. I'm out here on the internet trying to make you, anybody that wants to listen, more powerful, more capable, and with more endurance than you maybe have ever been told before in your life. I'm not trying to make it short, faster, or easier. I'm trying to make you better and stronger and able to play for longer. Not by changing you, but just by spotlighting you. You really can do it. And I know that because I really can do it. And with a day, not everyone is a major league player. In football or in baseball, I agree. Because not everybody has the genetics. Not everybody has the eye-hand coordination. In life, I disagree. I think that every human life presents itself with a cause, with an opportunity, with a mission, with a purpose, with a possibility of purpose. And you're either open to listening or not. And my job is just to open people up to listening. And then when you get that vision, by the way, I'm telling you how anyone can get financially free, because if you do this, you're so far beyond financially free. To get the war chest, to be able to go out and compete in the mainstream market, again, for me, I don't consider my competition to be some guy who sold $60,000 worth of a digital course on how to build a chatbot. I consider my competition to be somebody that can dominate the consciousness of the world. I consider my competition to be Donald Trump, LeBron James, Vladimir Putin, right? They got the war chest. I don't. So what do I need to do? I need to go out and get it. How do I get it? By dominating my market while it's small. There's a concept. It's like the SEALs, man. By the time they're there, it's too late. They move stealthily under cover of darkness. When you're small, when you're playing in the niche, you can move stealthily under cover of darkness, but you got to be doing the work to produce the value, to generate the revenue, to create the potential, to go out and win the fight once you're exposed. See, as soon as I'm on today's show, as soon as I'm on Good Morning America, I'm not hidden anymore. Suddenly the people that I'm competing with, they know who I am, right? So I better have as big a stick to swing as they do, or else then I have failed. And so, I don't know. I think I've said what I have to say. Think about it. At this point for Entre, we've tackled a couple markets. It's like software, man. It's like, the software is a hard business. You go out to raise money, and you talk to a venture capital, go, hey, I want to build a software company. I'm going to take on the funnel builder market. I'm going to take on the website builder market. I'm going to take on the pipeline management or CRM market. I'm going to take on the marketing automation market. And they will say, dude, you're crazy. It's so expensive to build software. It's so hard to acquire customers. It's so hard to prevent churn. It's so hard to maintain software quality at scale. They're going to give you all these reasons as investors why they wouldn't give you their money. You know what I would say to them? Suck it. Because I'm going to go build my own world where I don't need your money to launch software. And B, I already know I'm going to win. I already know I'm going to win, right? So we just launched software, and a year or two from now, all these software companies are going to be like, whoa, where did Entrasoft come from? How did these guys all of a sudden out of nowhere, I've never even heard of them. And now they have, 50,000 active users on $200 a month continuity. What's the math on that? 100,000. That's $10 million a month in continuity. Whatever, whether we get halfway there, a quarter of the way there or not, we'll be one of the most valuable private software companies in the world. How did that happen? Because I moved stealthily in the dark, because I worked like a freaking maniac to deliver so much more value than any of my competitors that were also playing in my small little sandbox, because I was already operating at a level way outside the sandbox, right? That's it. That's the formula. It's super simple. It's also really damn hard, but it'll forge you into a warrior. It'll make you into the best version of yourself ever. Yeah, go to Entrasoft.com. It'll tell you about the software. This conversation was not a sales pitch for Entrasoft. We're about to launch live events. We have our first live event coming up next month. 2 years from now, guarantee it, we're going to be one of the best business and personal development live event companies in the country, maybe in the world. I say one of the best, one of the biggest. And people go, where did these guys come from? I'm telling you where we came from. When we were small, when no one was watching, we were working at a whole other level to deliver a whole other level of value that nobody had ever seen before. That's how we did it. All right, team. I'm feeling good. The muscles getting back into shape. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate the kind words, man.